Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and a lot of news for World of Warcraft has been released recently. In this video, I want to go over some of that news, primarily talking about the actual announcement for the classic World of Warcraft release date, as well as a beta announcement, character creation announcement, which is different than World of Warcraft Classic, a brand new mount that was added for the World of Warcraft 15th anniversary that looks awesome, and much more. Let's first talk about the main part of this video, classic World of Warcraft. We've all been waiting, and we knew that summer of 2019 was when classic WoW was going to be finally released. I personally found out about this stuff after rolling out of bed this morning, looking on Twitter and seeing Wowhead posting just about every bit of information from the character creation release date to the classic WoW release date to the beta. So there's 3 different dates for us to take a look at. First of all, let's start chronologically. World of Warcraft beta starts May 15th. Make sure to update your Battle.net account to include World of Warcraft for any possible future betas. I'm very much hoping that I get into this beta so I can showcase you guys a little bit of the game, test stuff out, primarily jump on a couple of classes. For any of you guys wondering how some of these classes feel, if let's say you never played World of Warcraft Vanilla and are trying to decide which class you want to commit to, World of Warcraft Classic is going to be a whole nother beast than retail WoW of BFA right now, as it's a lot more grindier. You're going to have to put in a lot more time, and getting to max level is definitely a journey. So a lot of people are trying to decide what class they want to play that is going to be the best and the most fun that suits their own playstyle. So that's what I think I'll be focusing on my own live streams primarily for, trying to figure out which classes are fun and trying to figure out if someone, let's say, wants to play a certain class or the other, maybe make a video helping people choose which classes they want to play. We also have a release for the name claim, which is going to be August 12th or 13th, depending which region you are in. That means Blizzard is going to be doing the same thing as they did for BFA. It's going to be a release where everybody gets it at the same time. So depending on your region, for you, it'll either be the 12th or the 13th. So some regions will be getting it on a Tuesday. Like, for example, they have Sydney, Australia, 8 in the morning Tuesday. For me, it'll be 6 p.m. Monday based on time zones, but both of us will be able to play it at the same time. So depending on all the different regions, people will be able to have access to this character creator, and I'm guessing as well as Classic, at the same moment. And in the character creator, you'll be simply making a character, choosing your server, laying claim to a name, and that's really all you get to do. Customize a character and get them set up ahead of time, 2 weeks before the release, which I don't think is a bad idea. If anybody is determined to play Classic WoW, I'm pretty sure they'll be the first ones to figure out what server they want to play, maybe with their friends over Discord, and try to lay a claim to their name. So for example, Swifty can actually get the name Swifty on the server that he chooses. 2 weeks after the character creation, on August 27th, 2019 is when Classic WoW will be finally released. It's actually damn exciting. I'm very excited to see what it's going to be like. Pretty sure the servers are going to be crashing, and I know that Blizzard decided to implement the controversial, and it was really... I'm surprised it was controversial, but it makes sense why. The phasing for the first few weeks of Classic WoW releasing. Blizzard doesn't want to give anybody a bad experience and wants everybody to get to play the game. So phasing might be in play so that you are able to get your quests done. You are able to play the game fairly as stable as it can be at the very beginning when the floodgates will be open. Some people were really against it. They say it's part of the vanilla Classic WoW experience to have the crazy release and everything lags and you can barely play the game. And I guess to some extent, if you do want the Classic WoW experience, that is going to be the original experience. But if you do want to release a game that's more functional, then the phasing will be almost necessary. Kind of want to see your thoughts in the comments below. I asked this question before. I honestly don't remember what most of you guys said. I personally am kind of glad there will be phasing just so we can get the 2019 game exposure. And I feel like it won't completely sully what Classic WoW is going to be all about. But you guys sound off in the comments for me. Next part of the announcement is going to be World of Warcraft 15th anniversary, and they decided to celebrate it in a very interesting way. There's a couple different rewards that you'll be able to get for the 15th anniversary, and there will also be a brand new collector's edition of World of Warcraft 15th anniversary box with a Ragnaros statue. To show you guys some of the stuff, I'm not 100% sure of all the different quest lines that we'll have, but there's supposed to be an Obsidian Worldbreaker mount for an in-game reward. I don't know what the in-game reward is. It's supposed to be some sort of a quest chain that culminates into a 25-player raid accessible through Raid Finder. So I don't really know which raid they are going to be using. Is it going to be an older raid that we had before, or is it going to be one of the newer raids? Maybe it's just a special raid just for this announcement. But in the end, we are going to be taking a look at Rathian and Rathian agents, and Deathwing comes along, and we are getting the Deathwing mount called Obsidian Worldbreaker. As somebody who started playing the game in Cataclysm towards the end of Firelands, so I'd never really got to know Ragnaros version 2 that intimately, but I was there for all of Dragonsoul. I was all there for the raid. I did it so many times in normal, only the first boss and heroic ones, but I ran it every single day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And while it wasn't the greatest raid in the world, it was my very first raid, so it's always going to have a sweet spot for me. Now, Deathwing, by no measure, is the greatest supervillain of the World of Warcraft stuff. Not really anything close to Illidan or Lich King, far from it, really. But still, for me, it's a very unique boss and a very unique look that it has that we'll be getting as a mount. Now, I'm super excited about it. I always thought Deathwing whole appeal and the look was always unique, and I'm glad, I think a lot of you guys will be too, that this is not some kind of an in-game shop mount. It is something you can actually get in the game for doing the event. Very unique, very cool, has a little bit of that nostalgia for me. Very awesome, and I think it's a great way to kind of bring something back from previous expansion. Of course, there's also Pet, but then there was also Collector's World of Warcraft Collector's Edition with apparently some brand new mounts that you'll be getting, like a stone form version of, or I guess a statue version of a griffin and a wyvern, but also this Ragnaros statue. So I think it actually looks pretty cool. I'm not really somebody who pays that kind of insane money to get any kind of memorabilia for World of Warcraft, but I think it's really cool. This is the boss where everything started with. Ragnaros was one of the very first few big bosses that was slain in the World of Warcraft community, and I think it's kind of cool to have him there. And of course, you also get in the new mounts. With the original mounts of the Horden line starts as a fly mount, the Griffin and the Wyvern, the iconic version, but also I'm pretty sure this will be available in the in-game store if you do want to buy it separately without getting the full collector's edition. Overall, really cool stuff. I really am excited about the 15th year anniversary to get the in-game rewards, but I do think that the stuff that you would get with the collector's edition, which it's kind of pricey for $99.99, I mean $100, it's for, I guess you're getting a pretty cool, unique statue of Ragnaros, and you are getting also in-game goodies. I never personally found any kind of value and stuff like that. Like, item needs to be really, really cool in the game or IRL for me to want to get it. And this is something that I personally don't have that much value, but I definitely can see the novelty of somebody, let's say, who's been a fan of World of Warcraft and finds any kind of value to this. I think it looks cool. I think it looks unique. You guys let me know in the comments. Lastly, we got some insane nerfs to every raid boss in the new raids of either Crucible Storms or last boss of Battle for Dalaran. I guess it is no coincidence that Ian Hazakostas got to Jaina, and then we saw Jaina nerfs announced literally a day after he spent a bit of time wiping on it. I don't know if that's true or not. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. And I guess it's been a little bit of time since that boss has been around. Give more people an opportunity to kill this boss, because all the top tier guilds that were gonna kill it and did kill it already did it. So might as well give more players an opportunity. It's still gonna be a challenging fight, but they're cleaning up the fight for the most part. They're not really making it just miles easier. There's gonna be a lot more predictability with first phase with bombardments, then for second phase and third phase with Icefall and Gathering Blizzard not overlapping anymore. Prismatic images spawn closer to Jaina for the last area. Gathering Blizzard and Freezing Blood should now be more responsive in Mythic Plus difficulty, and a hefty nerf for Jaina's held by 5%. So more people will be able to get a chance at the Jaina mount. Also, Crucible Storm saw a lot of nerfs to be a little bit more melee friendly, but also make the fights a little bit easier if you decide not to go with the full Shadow Priest, 2 Warlocks and a Demon Hunter setup, which was, I felt, kind of insane. Void Crash and Crash and Doubt as abilities now prefer ranged targets, so bringing melee isn't going to be quite as punishing, as the one have to dance around the arena the whole time. Witness the End cast is going to be a 9-second cast instead of 7, making it easier for people to interrupt, but also going to be a little bit different on timer, since the ads have to take longer to cast. You're not going to need as many interrupts. You're also gonna have Zack Speaker and Fathul reduce the health by 5% on mythic difficulty to give more players an opportunity. We're seeing somewhat similar changes with Unat. We got Void Crash now prefers ranged targets, so again, going to be easier for all the melee. Insatiable Torment now prefers damage dealers rather than healers and such. Piercing Gaze and Result duration reduced to 4 seconds. It was 5 to make it a little bit less punishing. Undying Guardian's health reduced by 17%. Players targeted with Unstable Resonance has been reduced to 12 seconds per cast, was 18, and now prefers ranged targets in mythic difficulty, and Unat's health has been reduced by 5%. So to give more players an opportunity to get those bosses down. I thought Crucible Storms were actually a pretty challenging raid. Them seeing some nerfs happening is to kind of tone it down a little bit after we already had a couple of people kill Unat himself in the top tier guilds. But again, this is supposed to be a short raid before the next big thing, which we'll be getting with Ajara. I guess I'm pretty happy with the nerfs that we're getting. It's going to be nice on Jaina to have a little bit more predictability in some of the fights instead of the RNG that it's full of. And it's not the worst fight ever, but definitely if you get screwed by RNG like with Icefall while you have Gathering Blizzard and you can't see where the things are at, and you just have an Icefall go through the raid, never fun. But I'm glad the Blizzard is making small adjustments. So if you're someone who's been trying to get Jaina down or trying to bash your head in Crucible Storms, they are recently being nerfed. So hopefully you guys will prefer these type of updates to the raids. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's too much of a nerf? Do you think it's fine? Do you think it should be nerfed far more? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to be it for me for now. There's a lot more stuff that I want to work on videos for, but this is going to be the biggest updates in the last literal day. Classic WoW stuff is very exciting. The nerfs to raid bosses are pretty exciting for me personally, and 15th WoW anniversary looks actually kind of exciting. I cannot wait to get the Deathwing mount. You guys let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.